Every good rep at some point decides to be insubordinate. And this is what I mean by that. The company provides you with a slide deck. They provide you with your talk tracks. They say, look, we want everybody to say the same thing. So we check off the competency boxes. Now we're going to back away as an enablement team. We've given you what you need. Now go do it. So the rep says, all right, I'm going to follow my talk tracks. I'm going to use this slide deck. I'm going to do everything right. And then two problems happen. One, they really feel like this is a canned presentation, and they don't like canned presentations because it makes them feel salesy. And like, you want to see the color drain from a sales rep's face, you call them salesy, right? So we're not going to toe that line of emotion, like I told you before. The second thing that's wrong with that is there's no ownership in the sales rep in that sales call. Now it's, I did what I was told. If it didn't work out, whatever, I did what I was told. Can't fire me for doing everything you told me to do, right? So what happens is you have mediocre results, and the rep starts doing it less and less often because they don't really feel comfortable doing it because it doesn't feel authentic to them. It's not. And so what happens is, you, as a leader, you see this stuff happening, you see performance falling off, and you can't figure out why. And it's this lack of belief in the sales rep to color outside the lines. But when I talk to top performers, and I was one of these people when I was in the field, you know, in enterprise sales in the medical device industry, I said, okay, I see what you're doing, but I don't feel like that's the right way to do it. I'm going to do it my own way. And if it doesn't work out my own way, fine, I'll acquiesce and I'll do it your way. But I was with some reps earlier this week, and they said, yeah, I take that deck and I have 3 slides. And I know when to go to them, but I don't walk people through the deck because I don't know when. How do I know how a conversation is going to go? This is a two-way exchange. You have to have some unpredictability there. But the fact of the matter is, I'll go back to the insubordination point, you're breaking the rules. You're breaking the chain of command. You're coloring outside the lines. But unless you're willing to do that at some point, unless you're willing to be insubordinate at a certain state or a certain point in time and figure out your own way to do this, you're leaving your best work on the table. There are a lot of reps who can champion mediocrity and do just fine, and they will feel good about the work that they do. They will make President's Club once every 5 or 6 years, but they'll never get fired because they do what they're told and they produce mediocre to maybe above average results overall. But if you want to get the most out of your career, if you want to have the most fulfilling experience you can as a sales rep, you got to find your own way. You need permission to do it your own way. And ultimately, that fulfillment and that success comes when you sell like you. That's what you have to get to. And that little bit of fear that you need to overcome in order to get there is worth it in the end, because and all I can give you is my own testimony, right? But my world opened up when I realized that I didn't have to fall into this pre-scripted, predetermined, salesy way of doing things. All I had to do was be gutsy enough to stick my neck out and do it. And then my entire world changed. Every interaction I have with another human being has been impacted by that because of the different scope of view that I have on the world now. And it sounds far-fetched. I'm happy to tell anybody that wants to talk about it, off this webinar. But it is literally life-changing when you are just willing to be insubordinate that little bit and do it your own way.